Hello, hello guys! I am Chrissy Jamie and I am here with Emily from Emily Chelsea Jewelry, and today we are going to talk about how to care for your rings. So, what is your normal advice when you give your couples when they're buying the rings and they're like asking questions about how to care for them?
Yes, I'm so glad you want to talk about this because this is such a big important sticking point for us as well. So our advice, our kind of motto when it comes to caring for your jewelry is your rings are the first thing you take off when you get home and the last thing you put on before you leave.
Oh.
So ideally, that means when you're walking in the door, you do this.
Okay.
And it has become my ritual every single day after I get home from work. And before I leave, I see them, I put them on right away. The reason we recommend this is a lot of times the things we're doing around the house can cause damage or dirty up your ring.
Okay.
So if this feels too difficult to do, to take them off, what we really beg you then is to at least take it off when you are washing dishes, working out, so rock climbing, canoeing, anything that would be that metal to metal contact will damage your ring. Could cause the settings to get loose. Washing dishes, just because you might be a little careless when you're sticking your hands into a sink full of dishes. A lot of metals in the sink too.
Yeah. And does the dish cleaners or anything affect them?
No, actually. The reason we say take it off, so we have kind of two things that we're trying to protect your ring from: getting dirty and getting damaged. So with getting dirty, we say take it off when you're showering, putting on makeup, definitely putting on lotion, definitely baking. You can kind of visualize what would happen if you didn't. It gets so gunked up and so dirty.
Imagine you're trying to knead dough and everything, and you're just or all the lotions and they get stuck between the crevices if you have a more dainty ring
Can you imagine that? That would fill up. And a weird thing for me is bar soap. I've noticed you can wash your hands with rings on, but we want you to because we don't want you to be in the habit of taking it off so much that you take it off in a public place and then forget it. You can absolutely wash with your rings on. But bar soap, I've noticed, will gunk it up. It just kind of sticks to it.
I guess you're rubbing it. So
and it's a little chunkier, not in a liquid form.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that stones, like diamonds, love oil. And so oil will just stick to them. And what people don't realize too is oil sticks to the underside of stones. So in here, more so than just on the top, it will stick to the top, but that's gonna get rubbed off pretty quickly just by putting your, anything, daily wear. But when it sticks underneath there, it's gunking it up, and that is what's making it not sparkle as much.
Okay. And then, so that leads me into the next question of how often do you polish your rings?
We recommend maybe once a year.
Okay.
To bring it back in about once a year. This also allows you to do kind of a check-in and tune-up if anything needs to be done. It allows us to check the prongs, make sure everything is in place where it's supposed to be. To be honest, you don't need to do it that often unless you notice it and it bothers you. Okay. We do recommend for an engagement ring, especially if you're doing a wedding where you're gonna have a photographer, to come in a couple days before to either get it cleaned, because we can professionally clean it for you, or get it repolished entirely so that it's looking brand new, kind of matches.
Sparkling for the photo.
Yeah, exactly. And looking just as good as your wedding bands that you haven't worn yet.
Imagine if you had your wedding bands all nice and sparkly, but then your engagement ring is especially because we go close up for your photos, so you want both shining equally. Yes. Okay, and my next question is, should you wear your rings to sleep?
If you go to my rule, which is it's the first thing you take off when you get home, then no. But if you don't want to follow the rule, I would still say no. Okay. Just because, one, our hands swell and shrink in the middle of the night. When I wake up in the morning, my hands are super swollen. If I sleep with a ring on, it's not coming off, it's uncomfortable. I don't like the way that feels. Yeah. The other thing too is you're not really in control of your own body when you're sleeping. If you move your hand in a certain way, you can maybe scratch your face, maybe scratch your partner, or a prong could maybe, if a prong is slightly lifted but not in a way that it's noticeable, maybe it could catch on a sheet and pull it the rest of the way up. So we recommend no, just because you not really get to be like fully in control of like what your ring is coming into contact with. So it's for safety reasons, but also just comfort. It's not very comfortable.
Yeah, I can imagine like, I feel like the few times I've fallen asleep with a ring, and I try to take it off the next morning, I'm like, oh, it didn't fit. It slid right on yesterday, but now I'm like, I cannot take this off.
Yeah, I've woken up in the middle of the night and like, and I'll like rip them all off, throw them on my nightstand. Yes.
And it's very helpful to like, even if, like you said, if you want to be a bit rebellious and not take it off when you first get home, kind of make it part of your nighttime routine. Like just how you wash your face and you brush your teeth at night. It's like, oh, ring's still on. Just put it to the side. And it's helpful if you have one of these like little side dishes.
Yes. I have 3 of these in my house and 1 here. So if that gives you any indication of how often I actually we take them off.
And plus, so when you take them off, you're not just like, where did my rings go? Because that happened to my mom all the time. She like would take them off to like wash dishes or something, and then like, but she would always leave them in a random place.
No, that's a great point. Having a dedicated spot for your rings allows you to always remember where you put them, not lose them, and you're not going to put anything else there. It's dedicated for your rings. My husband has a ring dish. He has like a chapstick in there, his wedding band, a little like screw, and I'm like, this is not what it was for, but okay.
That's such a guy thing. You're like, whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. But yes, it is very lovely to have one of these, especially when you first like get engaged. I know some love to do like their initials on it or like your married date. Get it engraved, make it cute.
Another thing I was gonna say, you mentioned getting engaged. I understand that when you first get engaged, you don't want to take your ring off. I do understand that. So that's part of why we have these like, if you're not gonna follow the rule, here are some other tips. So I was the same way. I didn't want to take my ring off when I first got it. I wanted to wear it all the time. And then the other thing that people say is, they're like, well, my mom has never taken her ring off for 40 years. My grandmother hasn't taken her ring off in 60 years. But have you looked at them closely lately?
That's a good one.
They're probably really dirty. The other thing too is the older generations of jewelry were made chunkier. They were made with really high, really thick prongs. We make rings now, and people request rings to have delicate prongs, to be low profile, minimalist. We can do that style, but we need you to then also take care of it properly. You know, they're high quality, but if you don't want a chunky ring, then we say, you know, try to follow these rules and try to not wear it during these certain times.
There's always 2 sides of, it's nice to have a dainty ring if that's your style, but you gotta care for the dainty ring well.
I did also bring a couple other rings over that I just wanted to talk about. So these are some of our curved bands. Hold on to those. And then I did bring over one of our bands that's textured, but it doesn't have any stones on it. More simple ring designs, you can get away with a little bit more. So for my stack, I have my Diamond Solitaire engagement ring. I have a full Eternity diamond band. And then I have a very simple hammered metal, like all metal band. This, I feel like if I needed to, I can get rough with. I still will not lift weights in this, do yard work, you know, all the things. But if I were, let's say, out running errands and I had like something heavier I had to carry that I wasn't anticipating, I'm not as worried because I'm like, this is a pretty durable ring. Like this can handle it, kind of thing. So, and again, back to my point about like, don't get into the habit of taking it off in public. That's how you lose rings. And then the other big thing is, please do not wear it to the beach. Please.
Oh yes.
Do not wear it to the beach.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Take it off before you even get to sand.
Exactly. If you take it off when you're there, it's like almost more stressful in my eyes. I'm getting like nervous just thinking about it. Your hands shrink when you go in the ocean because it's cold, you don't realize it. You put suntan lotion on and it gunks it up. Once it's lost on the beach, that is like,
you ain't getting nothing again.
The sucker's gone.
It's gone. So just take it off before you get there.
Yes, please.
When you're in the car, just like have like even your glove.
Before you even get in the car.
Before you just don't even bring it with you.
Leave it. Don't bring it on vacation. Honestly, like people get a placeholder ring, or they'll bring like a costume ring, or just bring your wedding band, something more simple, or have like a simple travel band. There's a lot of solutions. I get it can feel nice to like be luxurious, like have that luxury feel. And like if you're gonna do that, then do it, but just be aware.
Yeah, and it's especially good as a honeymoon tip.
Yes, exactly.
I know, like you just got married, so you're just so excited to wear your bands and everything. But if you're on a honeymoon, leave them in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like after your wedding and after your honeymoon, for your day to day, going to the beach just to hang out, just take it off before you even get there. But for your honeymoon, leave it in the hotel, so you don't even have to worry about it on the beach, because God forbid.
Last thing I want to mention, we can clean your ring for you. We do a deep soak. It shakes all the debris off of it. We steam it under our steam cleaner. But what we always say is like between your visits to us, we recommend a bottle of jewelry cleaner. This is the cleaner that we sell, and we also give this like a custom ring purchase, a sample bottle. This stuff works really well. It's the best jewelry cleaner that I've used on the market. It comes with a little brush. This is, you really need to use the brush to get into those little areas that I talked about earlier, about underneath the stones. And then you just rinse it under water. This foams, and it does a really good job keeping it clean. And when you bring it in, I can tell. I can tell if you've been cleaning it with the Lavish. I can tell if you haven't been.
It's like
the ring tells me everything. Like you could try to tell me that like you're cleaning it. I'm like,
no, it's a different story.
Exactly.
It's like when you go to your dentist and you're like,
oh, totally.
It's like dentist like, no, you haven't been brushing at night. I see it. Mm-hmm. you can tell another story, but your teeth tell the truth. The ring will tell the truth.
Exactly.
Nice. And I love that you give this away with every purchase. It's great customer service. And you also give away this.
So everything we talked about is all on this little card that we give out. How to care for your jewelry. And this applies to also rings or earrings, necklaces. You can be a little bit more lax with your earrings and necklaces. Rings is just because you're so hard on your hands. Your earrings don't seem nearly the amount of wear that your rings. Your hands, exactly.
Okay, so to recap, what are the 3 main takeaways from everything we just talked about?
Okay, first one is your jewelry is the first thing you take off when you get home and the last thing you put on before you leave. Second, there's so many. Second, I would say have a ring dish. Have a place you can put your rings, a dedicated home for your rings. Okay. Third, if you can't take it off the moment you get home, at least take it off when you're doing dishes, putting on makeup, doing lotion, sleeping, and working out.
Working out.
And bonus, don't wear it to the beach.
Don't wear it to the beach.
Bonus. Yeah.
Especially because it's about to be summer.
That's true.
It's about to be beach days, so make sure. Don't bring it to the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was great. I love getting to talk about this.
I know.
For real.
There's so many things that even I learned, because I'm like, I always have these questions. I'm like, do I, like, I feel like you always know not to wear it to sleep, but like, while washing dishes, knowing that like, it's not, you don't wear it while not washing dishes, not for the cleaning chemicals, but for like the
safety.
Especially when you're washing plates and dishes and it banging against those things. It's good advice to take it off before when you get in the house. So all these things, I didn't even know. That's why we go to the experts.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Awesome. That's all. Bye.
Bye.